The chair is calling this regular meeting of McLean County Board to order on Thursday, September 13th. And we will have roll call. May we have roll call from our county clerk? Oh, excuse me. I did that again. I do that to you all the time. I apologize. We'll have roll call later because we are doing a call to order, and now we have the invocation. I am so sorry, Member Hanson. Invocation by Member Eric Hanson.
Yesterday marked 23 years since the horrific events of 9/11. We honor the memory of those lost and express our deepest gratitude for the first responders and the countless individuals who showed immense courage and compassion in the face of unimaginable tragedy. In times of remembrance, I often turn towards works of art to find comfort and solace. There's a poem by Claire Harner that I would like to read for you all. Do not stand by my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am the thousand winds that blow. I am the diamond glints in snow. I am the sunlight in ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. And when you awake in the morning's hush, I am the sweet uplifting rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the day transcending night. Do not stand by my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. May we honor the memory of the lives lost on that day and be reminded that our actions and service in the name of fellow humanity always lives in the lives of those that we care for. Thank you.
We have the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we will move to roll call, and I will ask our county clerk to do roll call. Thank you. Ms. Michael.
Susan Schaefer. James Zollner. Jeff Tompkins.
Here.
George Wendt. Crystal Abel. Absent. Jack Abraham.
Present.
Corey Byrne.
Present.
Beverly Bell. Lindsay Bloomfield. Leah Klein. Chuck Erickson.
Present.
William John Friedrich. Eric Hansen.
Present.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Here.
Randall Knapp.
Present.
Val Lehman.
Present.
Adam Reeves. Jim Rogal. Natalie Roseman Mendoza.
Present.
Catherine Metzger.
Present. We have 19 members present. We have a quorum, and we can conduct business. So that will move us to number 5, and that's appearances of members of the public and county employees in reference to an agenda item. And it appears that I have 6 people who have signed up in advance, and each will have 3 minutes. The podium is available. The microphone, I believe, is on. And so I need Jody Zitko. And Jody, welcome.
So I just want to preface, online it didn't say agenda item, so I'm here to bring public comment. Hello and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Jody Zitko. I have lived in Illinois for 58 years. I am a co-director of United Sovereign Americans. Today I come to you as a concerned citizen of the state of Illinois, sharing alarming information of our state's voter database uncovered through thousands of hours of research conducted by our highly qualified and credentialed data team. While the numbers are staggering and somewhat difficult to comprehend, one thing is clear: they don't add up. Just like your checkbook must balance, so must our votes. If you had 10,000 fewer dollars in your bank account than you had deposited, you would certainly want to know what happened. And if a company had this kind of significant discrepancy in their books, they would most certainly conduct an audit. In fact, yearly audits are required by law by public companies. Our audit of the 2022 election, using only official data provided from the state's election officials, shows that the 2022 election may not have been accurate or legally compliant. We are not here saying one candidate won over another or that any election should be overturned. However, the state's official data from a certified election shows that the votes as counted were not all valid or accurate under the law. Today, we present to you with a resolution demanding an end to the inaccuracy and uncertainty in our elections, along with a summary of our findings and the laws that apply. We're happy to meet with you if you have time to go over this information, including more details about the specific findings. If you have questions that we can't answer now, we will commit to getting you the answers in writing from the United Sovereign Americans executive team as soon as possible. This data and our request for an investigation have been shared with state and county officials and election certifiers. It's essential that you, as our representatives, make it clear that these issues must be considered seriously. Today we come to you, our most closest elected representatives, for support and action. We are asking you to listen to the resolution and ask questions if you have them, and vote promptly for its passage. If you do need us to be on your agenda to pass, we are asking today to be invited back. Contact information is provided on the documentation that will be provided to the chairperson. Your actions on this resolution will illustrate your dedication and support to the concerns of your constituents and your country. Thank you. Our resolution is next.
We have Mary Jane Silvestri. And welcome.
Hi there and welcome. I'm happy to be here. My name is Mary Jane Silvestri, and I live in Kane County and have been a resident there for over 45 years. I'm a volunteer for the United Sovereign Americans, and not an official spokesperson. I present to you a resolution for a legally valid 2024 general election. Whereas it is a recognized civil right in the United States for every citizen to have free and fair elections. And the right of the suffrage can be denied by a debased or dilution of the weight of a citizen's vote just as effectively as by wholly prohibiting the free franchise of the franchise. This is Reynolds versus Sims, 377 U.S. 533 in 1964. Whereas it is the affirmative duty of our elected officials to comply with all federal and state laws governing administration and procedure of our elections, thereby guaranteeing elections are accurate and free from distortions or manipulation. Congress seeks to guard the election of members of Congress against any possible unfairness by compelling everyone concerned in holding the election to a strict and scrupulous observance of every duty devolved upon him while so engaged. The evil intent consists in disobedience to the law, and that is in Recoy 127 U.S. 731 in 1888. Whereas our constitutional system of representative government only works when the worth of honest ballot is not diluted by invalid ballots procured by corruption, and assuring accuracy can only be achieved through the fealty to those laws governing the four tenets of an election. And that is number one, the voter rolls must be accurate. And that's from the National Registration Act of 1993. Number two, the votes counted must be from eligible voters. And that's from the U.S. Constitution, the 14th Amendment. And we have number three, the number of votes counted must equal the number of voters who voted. And number four, there can be no more than 1 in 125,000 ballots in error by the voting system. and that's from the Help America Act in 2002. Thank you.
And thank you. Deborah Mayo, welcome.
My name is Deborah Mayo. I live in Macon County. I've been a resident of Illinois for 70 years. I'm a volunteer for United Sovereign Americans and not an official spokesperson. I will continue with the resolution. Whereas an open source audit of the Illinois 2022 general election conducted by Illinois state citizens has uncovered evidence of massive inaccuracies that violate both federal and state laws, including 4,032,801 ineligible or uncertain registration violations found within the Illinois State Voter Roll database. Again, that was 4,032,801. 589,985 votes cast by ineligible or uncertain registrations. 27,491 more votes counted than voters who voted in 2022 general election, and no one knows who cast them. 589,952 apparent voting violations in excess of the legal standard of system accuracy for a valid federal election. For the 2022 election in Illinois, this number was 33, and yet we had 589,985. Certification as defined by law and an attestation of accuracy and compliance appears to have been fraudulent and illegal. These findings trample accuracy requirements of voting systems for a federal election. For a voting system, accuracy is defined as the ability of the system to capture, record, store, consolidate, and report the specific selections and absence of selections made by the voter for each ballot position without error. It must be known factually and provably that the intent of the voters is accurately represented by election results before certification can be lawfully conducted. Certification of an election that varies from the law is an abridgment of the civil rights of the citizens, a fraud ab initio. United States versus Throckmorton, 98 U.S. 61, 1878. Illinois' 2022 general election appears to have been invalid, depriving us of the guaranteed protection or our natural rights under a government duly and provably chosen by us, the American people, resulting in incalculable damage to our families, our way of life, and in the fabric of these United States. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Don Mayo. Welcome, Mr. Mayo.
Hello, my name is Don Mayo, and I live in Macon County, and have been a resident of Illinois for 44 years. So I am a volunteer for United Sovereign Americans, a non-official spokesperson. I will continue with the resolution. Therefore, we call upon our representatives to provide relief to the people and assurance of domestic tranquility by joining us in demanding a valid 2024 general election that upholds these existing laws and equitable principles of law. 1, proof of citizenship, identify and eligibility to register and vote, not anonymous attestation. 2, voter rolls certified, accurate, and available for public review and challenge 30 days before the start of early voting. Voters after that date must bring proof of citizenship, identify and address and persons to qualified officials at each polling place. 3, hand-marked secure ballots similar to currency where imaging technology is used for tabulation. The security feature must be verifiable in the ballot image. 4, systems, machines, security measures, infrastructure, and conduct required to be compliant with federal law for fraud prevention regarding risk assessment, certification, testing, and implementation. 5, adjudication must be signed off by party, candidate, and trained citizens' wellness after being given full and effective observation rights. Candidates and trained citizens must be allowed immediate access to the ballots, ballot images, and the CVRs. 6, Ballots, regardless of entry source, election operations, and systems must maintain end-to-end chain of custody from voter to voter count to final canvass, including audibility and witness transfer with paper records. And 7, a NIST-compliant, randomized, statistically valid end-to-end audit with 95% confidence level of all elections pursuant to the 14th Amendment, Section 2 must be formed. These audits are to be conducted by qualified, insured, and bonded security, forensic, or financial auditors, not personnel from within the election system. Reconciliation must include vote count, real physical ballots, adjudication, CVRs, ballot count, qualified voter count, custody transfer, and all other paper and electronic election systems, including logs. Thank you.
Our next speaker would be Ken Zitko.
Hello, I've brought copies of our presentation for the board, just a couple for you to share. My name is Ken Zitko. I live in Kane County, and I've been a resident of Illinois for 52 years. I am a Illinois State Chapter Director for United Sovereign Americans, and I will conclude the resolution. 8, if the total of all unique variances above is more than 10% of the margin of victory, a new election must be held in the state for those candidates affected, unless the issues can be provably corrected by a manual hand recount and a full review of records. 9, waiver of requirements is not allowed. Only end-to-end system compliance from registration through certification can guarantee the intent of the people is accurately recorded. This concludes our powerfully written resolution outlining massive inaccuracies in our 2022 election, from registration through certification. In it, you heard us ask for meaningful remedies to be provided to proactively protect the validity of the 2024 general election. In fact, the resolution cites many U.S. Supreme Court precedents that support the need for such actions. The laws are being ignored. Bottom line, the checkbook is not balancing and we need certainty. The voter system, which controls our most vitally important right, the right of suffrage, is not capable of producing an accurate, trustworthy result. Do you think that these anomalies within our election system, which are part of our national security infrastructure, should continue to be ignored? How much is it costing us to not fix this problem? How much is it costing our GDP, our military, our foreign health policy, our health, our self-esteem of our children and young people? And how much is it costing our dignity to keep fighting with each other? The cost is immeasurable, so I urge you to show your agreement by passing the resolution. As mentioned earlier, we ask to be invited back and put on your agenda if your process requires it to pass. We have a website that showcases our initiative and our project nationwide and has some great videos that explains the anomalies and apparent violations of law that are found here in this state, as well as in others. The website is uniteforfreedom.com. It's unite, the number 4, freedom.com. I encourage you to check it out to learn more about our group and the project. Thank you.
And our final speaker is Babe Patskis. I hope I didn't butcher that too much, so
My
welcome.
maiden name was so much easier. It was just Schmidt. Anyway, my name is Babe Poxtis, and I am a lifelong resident of Cook County. I am a volunteer for United Sovereign Americans and not an official spokesperson. What you heard tonight is the culmination of thousands of hours of work by our highly qualified and credentialed volunteer data teams from this state and across the country. Let's step back for a second and look at the big picture. High numbers of Americans, including many right here in this county, have questions about the trustworthiness of our elections. I think we can all agree that we wish this was not the case, but official data shows these concerns are valid, and the law says they are important in securing our liberty. At the same time, government representatives at all levels are not being transparent or responsive to what our citizens' audits have found. Our right to vote for our elected representatives in legally valid and transparent elections is the foundation on which our constitutional federal republic was established. That right has been bravely protected over the past 2.5 centuries by the sacrifices of our brothers, fathers, mothers, sisters, and for some of us, our children. You on this board tonight have a chance to show everyone who defended American liberty and the citizens that you represent that you value it also by passing this resolution demanding a valid election in 2024. Please invite us back to be on your agenda if you are unable to pass it tonight. Our state director's contact information is on the documentation provided by our last reader to the chairperson. We appreciate your commitment to the constituents of this county, as well as the time and attention you have given us tonight. Thank you very much. And these were the resolutions.
We will now move to the consent agenda. And we have a number of items on the consent agenda, so I need a motion to accept the consent agenda. We have Member Rogal.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would like to exempt myself from item 6E4C as it would be a conflict of interest to me personally.
6E4C, very good. And that would be the McLean County Museum of History to install that concrete pad?
Yes.
All right, so have it noted that Member Hanson will recuse himself from that vote. And Member Rogal has a motion, and we have a second by Member Schaefer. Is there any discussion? Any topics we need to have discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of accepting the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion passes. We will move now to 6G, and that's approval of resolutions of congratulations and commendations. Excuse me, it would not come out. Thank you very much for your help. And we have our first one. Member Knapp will have a proclamation for cybersecurity proclamation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. McLean County Board Proclamation, support of National Cybersecurity Awareness Month 2024. Whereas the County Board of McLean County, Illinois recognizes it has a vital role in identifying, protecting its citizens from and responding to cybersecurity threats that may have significant impact to our individual and collective safety and privacy. Whereas critical infrastructure sectors are increasingly reliant on information systems and technology to support financial services, energy, elections, telecommunications, transportation, utilities, healthcare, and emergency response systems. Whereas cybersecurity education awareness is crucial for everyone, including large corporations, small businesses, schools, government agencies, the home user, and anyone who connects to the internet. Whereas monitoring accounts, being conscientious in what is shared online, keeping computer software up to date, creating unique passwords, changing them regularly, installing antivirus programs and firewalls, engaging in cybersecurity training, and using mobile devices safely are ways to protect oneself from phishing, viruses, malware, and loss of sensitive data. Whereas the 2024 theme for Cybersecurity Awareness Month is Secure Our World, and is implemented through a coalition of private companies, nonprofit, government organizations, and academic institutions working together to increase the public's understanding of cyber threats and empowering Americans to be safer and more secure online. Whereas the National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Workforce Framework has been developed as a free resource to help organizations improve their cybersecurity practices through a practical approach to addressing the evolving cybersecurity threats and challenges. Whereas maintaining the security of cyberspace is shared responsibility in which each citizen has a critical role to play, and awareness of computer security essentials will improve the security of McLean County government's information, infrastructure, and economy. Whereas the federal government of the United States Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity, and Infrastructure Security Agency, the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, the National Association of State Chief Information Officers, and the National Cybersecurity Alliance all recognize October as National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And all citizens are encouraged to visit these websites along with Secure Our World to learn about cybersecurity and put that knowledge into practice in their homes, schools, workplace, and businesses. Whereas Illinois now requires annual government employee cybersecurity training each year. Now, therefore, the McLean County Board issues this proclamation that McLean County government is officially supporting National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, October 2024.
Thank you. We now will have a Sportsman Club resolution, and our chair of the property committee, Val Lehman, will be presenting this. And I believe we have some visitors, and thank you very much, from the McLean County Sportsman's Club. I think our Chair Lehman will explain this.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. So as on the property committee, we oftentimes have the opportunity to see really exciting projects and really exciting programs come through. But you don't oftentimes get to really make all of the connections and have the chance to celebrate the folks that are making it happen. So excited to have Mr. Steffa, the director of Kamlara Park, bring this to our attention to honor this extraordinary organization. So we do have a resolution here today to honor you folks and the work that you've done with the McLean County Sportsmen's Association. So the resolution of the McLean County Board recognizing the McLean County Sportsmen's Association. Whereas in 1990, Ron Hamilton formed the McLean County Sportsmen's Association with the goal of promoting a positive public image of all sportsmen. And whereas the McLean County Sportsmen's Association raise funds and donate time to encourage residents to enjoy the great outdoors. And whereas the McLean County Sportsmen's Association support many programs that benefit the youth of McLean County, including, but not limited to, the annual Kids Fishing Derby at Miller Park, hunter safety classes, youth archery programs, kids antler hunts, urban fishing programs, IHSA bass fishing, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Easter Seals Camp, Special Olympics, and Metcalf Special Education. And whereas the McLean County Sportsmen's Association has supported the McLean County Department of Parks and Recreation over the years by donating nearly $100,000 and countless volunteer hours to park improvement projects and programs. And whereas Kamlara Park, Evergreen Lake projects and programs that have benefited the McLean County Sportsmen's Association include funding and volunteer staffing for trenching, installing electricity and lighting for both boat launches and accessible dock near the boat rental bait shop, funding for concrete for the new sidewalks and foundation at the boat rental bait shop building, funding and volunteer staffing for deer hunting blinds and permanent deer hunting stand for the archery and firearm hunts at Kamlara Park, funding for prizes for Take a Kid Fishing Tournament, funding for summer interns from Illinois State University, funding for stocking largemouth bass into Evergreen Lake, funding and staffing for the annual Hooah Veterans Fishing Tournament at Evergreen Lake, funding for archery stands and targets at the Kamlara Park Archery Range, funding and volunteer help with the archery program, the Kid Antler Hunt, and the Urban Fishing Program. Now, therefore be it resolved, the McLean County Board recognizes that the McLean County Sportsmen's Association has been and continues to play an important role not only for the youth and the citizens of McLean County, but for the McLean County Department of Parks and Recreation. Thanks the McLean County Sportsmen's Association for all of their contributions adopted to the McLean County Board this 12th day of September 2024. Thank you for all of your contributions. Let's give them a hand and have an opportunity to hear from them. Thank you all very much. Mr. Steffa, would you like to say a few words and an introduction, or was there anybody from the Sportsmen's Association who'd like to say a few words for us today?
No, fortunately, I've been a member of the association for several years as well. So, but this is just an unbelievable organization that does help the youth and citizens of McLean County in the countless hours of volunteer work that they've done. It's just, I can't say enough about it. But with us here tonight in the Tennessee colors, we're not sure why he wore that, but it's all right. It's our current president, Mike Finley. James Tafflinger, a newer member, but he's done a lot for us already. Angie Schultz, who has done an unbelievable amount of work for us, her and her dad. And then Bruce Schenkel, our past president. They've all done just a tremendous amount of work for not only the park, but for McLean County. Whoops, excuse me.
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, certainly. Do you want to get in the picture?
Not really.
Okay, there we go.
That moves us to number 7, which would be standing committees. And 7A is Executive Committee, and we have Vice Chair Elizabeth Johnston. And Ms. Johnston, you have the floor.
Thank you. Executive Committee brings 2 items for action tonight. The first item is 7A1A, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the Regional Office of Education, number 17, and I so move.
And I need a second. We have a second by Member Hanson. Any discussion or questions related to this topic? Seeing none, all in favor of the intergovernmental agreement with Regional Office of Education number 17, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. And Vice Chair, the floor is yours again.
Thank you. The next item is 7A1B, request approval of an ordinance by the McLean County Board amending Chapter 257, licensed businesses of the McLean County Code, and I so move.
And I need a second for that. I have a second by Member Abraham. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the ordinance for amending Chapter 257 of the McLean County Code, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. And Vice Chair, you have the floor again.
Thank you. We have no other items for action, and our minutes can be found in the general report, pages 29 through 33.
Thank you very much. We will move to 7B, and that's Finance Committee, and we have Chairman William Friedrich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Finance Committee brings one action item before the full board, and that's item 7B1A, and that's a request approval of a voter registration state grant from the Illinois Board of Elections, and I so move.
And I need a second for that. I have a second by Member Knapp. Any questions or comments or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the voter registration grant from the State of Illinois Board of Elections, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion passes. And Chairman Friedrich, the floor is yours again.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have nothing else to report. Our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes, pages 11 through 20. Thank you.
Thank you. We are moving to 7C, and that's Health Committee and Chairman Susan Schaefer. And Ms. Schaefer.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Health Committee has 2 items for action tonight. 7C1A is request to approve an ordinance by the McLean County Board amending Chapter 205, Article 11 miscellaneous code fees in the McLean County Code for Chapter 216 food service, and I so move.
And I need a second. I have a second by Member Bell. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of the fee, amending the Chapter 205 fees, Article 11, in Chapter 216 of food service, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And Chairman Schaefer, you have the floor again.
Thank you. 7C1B is request to approve an ordinance by McLean County Board amending Chapter 205, Article 11 miscellaneous code fees in the McLean County Code for Chapter 310 sewage disposal systems, water wells, and geothermal exchange systems, and I so move.
And I need a second on that. We have a second by Member Byrne. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor of amending the Chapter 205 fees of Article 11 for the Chapter 310 sewage disposal systems, water wells, and geothermal exchange systems, say aye. Opposed? That motion passes. And Chairman Schaefer, you have the floor again.
Thank you. Our general report can be found on pages 21 through 24 of the unapproved minutes packet.
Thank you. We'll move to 7D, and that's Chairman Chuck Erickson of the Justice Committee.
Thank you, Chair. The Justice Committee brings 2 items for action. First item is item 7D1A, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the 11th Judicial Circuit counties of Ford, McLean, Livingston, Logan, and Woodford regarding the Veterans Treatment Court Coordinator, and I so move.
I need a second. I have a second by Member Tompkins. Any questions or discussion? All in favor of the intergovernmental agreement between the 11th Circuit counties Ford, McLean, Livingston, Logan, and Woodford for Veterans Treatment Court Coordinator, say aye. Opposed? That motion passes. And Chairman Erickson, you have the floor again.
Thank you. The Justice Committee brings 1 additional item for action, item 7D1B, request approval of a Violent Crime Victims Assistance Program grant agreement with the State of Illinois of the Attorney General, and I so move.
I need a second. I have a second by Roseman Mendoza. Any questions or discussion on that topic? Seeing none, all in favor of the Violent Crime Victims Assistance Program grant with the State of Illinois Attorney General, say aye. Opposed? That motion passes. And you have the floor again, Chairman Erickson.
Thank you. The Justice Committee brings no other items for action. Our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. We will move to 7E, and that's Property Committee, and Chair Val Lehman.
Thank you very much, Chair Metzger. The Property Committee has 1 item to be presented for action this evening. That item is E1A, the request approval of an ordinance pertaining to the use and control of cul-de-sacs, loading docks, sally ports, and parking lots owned and operated, maintained, or leased by McLean County, and I so move.
And I need a second. We have a second by Member Bloomfield. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we have one comment or discussion. Member Schaefer.
Thank you. No, this is not a question or anything. I just wanted to make a comment, and I had mentioned this at Exec Committee on Monday, that some of the changes that are in here about the 200 West Front parking lot is going to be a big, have a good positive impact to the clients of the health department on the people that are utilizing the health department and the clinics that we serve those clients with will have hopefully a better opportunity to find parking, and the moms with their 4 kids in the stroller aren't trying to find some place to park. So I think that this is a really good change in that one little section. So I just wanted to acknowledge it. And I mentioned it at the Board of Health meeting last night, and they were very positive reception from them. So thank you.
Other comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the ordinance pertaining to the use and control of a variety of county-owned properties and maintained and leased, say aye. Opposed? That motion passes. And Chair Lehman, you have the floor again.
Thank you yet again. We have no other items to be presented for information or for action this evening. Presented for information, we do have our regular meeting minutes, which can be found in the general report, pages 25 to 28. And I'm also here for any additional questions or concerns?
Seeing no additional questions, we will move to 7F, and that is Land Use and Development, and our chair is Leah Klein.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. The Land Use and Development Committee has no items for action this evening, and we took care of our business in a stand-up, so we don't have minutes, but I would like to remind everyone that coming up on Saturday, September the 28th, is the Ecology Action Center's Household Hazardous Waste Collection event. You can find information about this at the website hhwmclean.org. Again, hhwmclean.org. And this is an event that is free to anyone in the county. They can, you must pre-register, but you can come from anywhere in the county and get rid of the stuff that you can't get rid of in your trash can. I will also say the Ecology Action Center is hopeful to have more volunteers to assist with the event. So if you're interested, please reach out to the Ecology Action Center.
Thank you for that announcement. We do appreciate that. And we will move to 7G, and that's Transportation Committee, and Chairman Jim Rogal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Transportation Committee has no items tonight to be presented for action. Our general report can be found on pages 2 through 5 of the unapproved minutes, and I can answer any questions.
Anything else? All right, thank you. That moves us to 7H, and our County Administrator, Ms. Cassie Taylor. And Ms. Taylor.
Thank you, Chair Metzger. I have no items to be presented for action this evening, but I do have an item for information that's significant, and that is the presentation of the fiscal year 2025 recommended budget and 5-year capital improvement plan. It's pulled up there. Thank you, Dan. So it is my privilege to submit the recommended budget for fiscal year 2025. This budget is an expression of the values of McLean County and directions from this board. McLean County has made a commitment to fiscal sustainability. We are committed to serving our citizens, strengthening our partnerships, and creating resilient communities. We are investing in critical infrastructure to support the county's growth and prosperity. We are growing a better McLean County. So a bit of review. In our current year, 2024, our total all-fund budget was $146,547,030. For the first 6 months of the year, which is halfway through our fiscal year, 44% of the budgeted revenues have been collected, and 38% of the budget has been expensed. We do anticipate that revenues will increase on a timely basis as we collect those tax distributions that are coming in. So looking at next steps, this is just a review of our overall budget cycle. So in May of this year, we adopted the budget policy. Tonight, I am presenting to you the recommended budget. We will be having public meetings in our committee meetings on the budget from October 8th through the 14th. And then on November 14th of this year, this board will vote on the adoption of the 25 budget. So key considerations that were made during this budget development, we considered the property tax impact. We minimized the use of fund balance to cover operating expenses. We prioritized our employees, and we looked at several factors in that prioritization. And we planned for no general obligation debt to be issued in 2025. So if we look at our budget as a whole, that's what I refer to as our all funds budget. The recommended budget for 2025 totals $136,924,793, which represents a 6.5% decrease from the 2024 adopted budget. In alignment with our tradition for strong financial management, this budget strategically allocates resources to priority areas and manages our costs. We have taken measures to ensure our investments are sustainable and we are maintaining a healthy reserve level to safeguard against uncertain future economic times. This is a balanced budget. So we were able to do that because of the strong economic growth in McLean County, the continuation of increased activity in the housing market and related new construction has led to an 11% increase in the county's EAV. This increase created additional property tax revenue from the previous year, but conservative budgeting by county departments limited the increase to $3.37 million. The FY25 recommended budget proposes a tax rate lower than the FY24 rate. The additional funding will continue to assist addressing bridge and road repairs, expanded benefits to veterans, salaries and benefits to employees, and maintenance needs previously deferred during years when the EAV growth was limited. We have varied revenue sources supporting our budget, so we've listed those sources here. The general fund revenues consist of property tax, service fees, revenue from court fines and fees, intergovernmental payments, and interest on funds invested by the county. Our county's 39 special revenue funds come from restricted levies, grants, enterprise fees, or special taxes imposed under Illinois law, and combined they support the maintenance of core county services. Collectively, these resources make up the McLean County 25 budget. Property taxes make up 36% of the total revenue, while other taxes, including sales tax, state income tax, personal property replacement tax, make up 12.8% of our revenue. For the past 3 years, intergovernmental revenues have been elevated by the American Rescue Plan Act funding. So for use of funds, the FY25 recommended budget includes salaries and benefits across all funds, our capital expenses, and professional and contractual services. 47% of the total budget is comprised of salaries and fringe benefits for our employees. Increases to salaries in FY25 and in future years will be aligned with average current market salaries and systemically reviewed. The budget includes an across-the-board adjustment to salaries as well as merit increases for non-union employees and increases according to collective bargaining agreements. So next we'll focus on the general fund. The general fund is the primary fund for county operations, and it is the largest fund in the county's budget. It is used to support operations including general government, facilities, administration, law enforcement, and parks and recreation. The general fund includes a variety of revenue sources to finance the operations of McLean County, included in those general fund revenues are property taxes, other taxes, license and permits, intergovernmental revenues, charges for services, fines, interest income, and miscellaneous revenues, and a few transfers. General fund revenues for FY25 increased 4.89% from FY24. And in your slide, it shows the 4 major revenue sources for this fund. Moving on to highlights for the general fund. For capital improvements, the county continues its focus on integrating energy efficiencies into repairs and updates for our capital assets for current and future use. The FY25 recommended budget proposes 53 projects totaling approximately $18,240,574 for renovations to existing facilities. Planned projects include plumbing and building automation updates, window replacements, elevator modernization, HVAC and mechanical upgrades, playground equipment, increased ADA accessibility, security upgrades, and 7 county highway projects. In addition to the FY25 project funding, the county has developed a 5-year capital improvement plan for years 2025 through 2028. This plan includes the design and implementation of 109 projects and will provide for key improvements to sustain our current quality of service and support the county in moving forward in the future. I'd like to highlight that nearly every department maintained level operating expenses for the 2025 budget, which allowed us to target real needs in personnel costs. Our organizational health depends on our most important resource, our employees. Personnel costs and benefits increased 4% for fiscal year 2024, and the key considerations for this budget review included revisions to organizational structure, review of the employee benefit package, and maintaining market rate salaries, especially to those significantly impacted, hard-to-fill positions. We also looked at system improvements. So aligned with our values to provide excellent customer service and maintain a quality workforce, the county has invested in a new enterprise resource planning system, which will be online in 2025. A robust ERP system is crucial for McLean County because it centralizes and integrates data across departments, enables better decision-making, improves financial accuracy, and ultimately enhances service delivery to citizens by automating processes, minimizing data redundancy, and improving efficiencies. The new system will also include components for human resources and for grants management that are currently not available. Our county general fund expenditures are broken down here. The total general fund budget is $54,283,064. For special revenue funds, we have listed here the 3 largest special revenue funds out of the county's 39 total special funds. Overall, the special revenue funds account for $82,730,294, which is a 12.8% decrease from the prior fiscal year. The anticipated revenue for the health department is $10.4 million, for the nursing home $11.5 million, and for the highway department $19 million. Those are broken down there. On this next slide, you'll see the expenses for those same categories. The funds are balanced with the expense totals matching the revenue totals from the previous page. And you can see there the breakdown of the different major categories. The 2024 combined property tax levy is approved concurrently with the FY25 budget. Attached here is a pie chart to illustrate all the individual levies that make up that property tax. So in summary, the budget recommends $53.8 million for government operations, $39.1 million for public safety, $21.9 million for health and social services, $20.6 million for highways and community planning, and $1.3 million for recreation and conservation. The FY 2025 recommended budget totals $136,924,793, a decrease of $9,622,237 from the FY 2024 budget, largely due to the close of the American Rescue Plan Act funding. This budget is based upon a 0.88653 property tax rate. That is a 3.3% decrease from the tax rate utilized for the previous fiscal year. The tax amount charged per $100 of equalized assessed value is decreased by 3 cents. So what that means is, as an example, that the McLean County portion of the property tax for a $165,000 home will decrease by $16.67 from the previous year. Guided by the priorities established by this board, the FY25 recommended budget sustains the ambitious work underway across multiple county departments and strengthens the county workforce as it serves the public. I thank the administration, staff, and county departments for their input and assistance in developing the recommended budget and capital improvement plan. Members of the McLean County Board, I respectfully request the FY25 recommended budget the 5-year capital improvement plan, and the 2024 combined property tax levy be referred to the appropriate oversight committees for review, and the FY25 recommended budget be laid on the table for public review and comment. Thank you.
All right, this is an opportunity. Does anybody have any questions related to this topic before we will move into, we will take this to committee, but this is an opportunity. And I believe Vice Chair Johnston?
It was just a clarification on the timeline. Thank you so much. You had posted that the committees would be October 8th through the 14th. But according, I mean, from my schedule I'm looking at, it would be the 1st through the 10th.
Let me double check
I
that.
just
I
want to
hope
check the
that's not
dates
an
and make sure
error.
that we let people know when the committees are happening and don't give them the wrong dates.
So October 1st is a Tuesday, and so the committees would be the first full week of October, and they would start on the 8th.
Just wanted to make sure because we've had other months where Monday was a previous month, but we started on the 1st. So we are moving it to.
It's the
push it
first
back.
full week of that month, so it would be, the committees would be the week of the 7th through the 11th.
Okay.
With executive on the 14th and the full board on the 17th.
Just want to make sure. Thank you.
Yep. I had to check myself.
It's a bit confusing because it has to be a full week. And since it doesn't start until Tuesday, we have to move it back another week. So any other questions? Yes, Chair Erickson.
Yes, if a member of the general public would like to find the budget, where would they go?
It will be on the website, on the upper right-hand corner of the website. You can do a search, and if you searched for 2025 budget, it would take you to the right page.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? All right, I do want to clarify some things. The McLean County Board uses a committee structure to conduct county business. You all know that. This means that members are responsible to prepare, attend, and participate in their assigned committees. When members are interested in specific topics within a committee for which they are not a member, members are encouraged to meet with the committee chair, attend and participate as per our rules. This structure is critical to the efficiency, effectiveness, and successful completion of county business. Full county board meetings are primarily used to finalize committee decisions. Most work is completed at the committee level. It is rare to have extensive discussion at the full county board meetings on topics addressed at committee meetings. October committee meetings will include detailed budget discussions, and I believe one of the most important aspects of our job as board members is to determine the annual budget and levy. It is important, very important, for board members to attend these October committee meetings. October meetings will likely last longer, and I ask that you each make every effort to attend each of your assigned committee meetings to their entirety. As always, please remember to contact your committee chair and administration if you will not be attending. As I just mentioned, our rules allow members to engage with other committees. If a member is interested in budgets of other committees, I strongly encourage you to contact that committee chair. However, we also must trust our board colleagues on other committees, knowing that they are putting significant time and effort into reviewing their assigned budgets. Not attending or viewing or providing opinions on the budgets at committee level and then questioning or disparaging the work of your fellow board members or county administration at that full board meeting is not appropriate. I am confident this reminder will help everyone understand their role in the budget and trust that the committee process and trust in this committee process. Any questions or comments? Okay, very good. Work to be done. This is the most challenging time of the year. So I don't believe we have number 8. We do not have any appearances of members of the public for items not on the agenda. So we do have some business or communication, and I believe that our chair of the Justice Committee has an acknowledgement for Dr. Denton. And so if we could have Chuck Erickson do a...
Am I doing this from this seat, or am I going
I
over
think
there?
it would be if Dr. Denton
Dr.
is
Denton
here.
is here.
And so why don't you take it to the podium, please? And Dr. Denton, if you could please come to the podium.
Well, you can finally put a face with the name, okay? Because we talk
Absolutely.
about the Dr. Denton. This is the Dr. Denton right here. So here he is. All right. On behalf of the county board, I would like to congratulate Dr. Denton on his receipt of a Life-Saving Partner Award during the Gift of Hope Organ and Tissue Donation Network's Coroner Collaborative event on July 24th. Dr. Denton has 28 years of experience in autopsy and pathology work, which began in the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office in 1996. He then added to his workload in 1998 by covering 1 weekend a month at the McLean County Coroner's Office, which eventually led to a move to Bloomington in 2007, where he continues his forensic pathology work. Dr. Denton is dedicated to serving the public both in and out of the office. He serves on the Southern Illinois Child Death Investigation Task Force, the City of Bloomington's Special Commission for Safe Communities, and is actively involved in the Illinois Training Board. As this award illustrates, Dr. Denton's service to the public is also evident in his valuable partnership with the Gift of Hope Organ and Tissue Donation Network, which is instrumental in coordinating the donation process and educating about organ and tissue donation. Dr. Denton's advocacy for donation as a forensic pathologist displays the special way in which death investigation and organ, eye, and tissue donation can coexist simultaneously. On behalf of the members of the county board, I would like to extend a special thank you to Dr. Denton for going above and beyond as he not only provides closure for those who have lost loved ones, but also assists individuals in the living public through his training, service, and advocacy for donation. Congratulations again on receipt of this well-deserved award. Congratulations. You want to say anything?
Thank you.
Ms. Schaefer, did you wanted to make a comment, I believe?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Last week, I went to a recovery court graduation. This afternoon, Chairman Metzger and I attended court graduation with 3 graduates, and I actually happen to know the grandparents of one of the graduates today. And one of the things we've been working on with court services is how we're going to make sure that all of you are aware of when the drug court and recovery court and veterans treatment court graduations are, because they're really something to attend at least once to see what these individuals have done to turn their lives around and not be involved in the justice system and not have to go to prison and things like that, and how we support them, and how our staff members in court services and other community partners support them to get to that point. So they had 3 great graduates today. It was pretty interesting. I had some tears on one of them, and so I'll try to make sure we get a process going for everyone to be informed as to when those graduations are. But just want to let you know that, and that there's going to be like 5 veterans court graduations coming up. And those happen actually during court. So you will actually, the recovery court and veterans court graduations happen during the court session. And during court is a bigger celebration, so.
So we will make sure that everyone is aware of those so they can attend. And I think you will be very impressed at the outcome that these individuals have. They've made a conscious effort to change their personal lives to improve their family and to contribute to our community. So we really have thankful that we have people who are working through these programs and offering those opportunities to give people second chances. So, but from an acknowledgement perspective, I have more wonderful news. As many of you know, our McLean County board members are active in statewide and national leadership roles. And District 2 board member Jim Solner was elected and is the current president of the Illinois Association of County Board Members. So we need to acknowledge him. So that's a statewide. Then we have McLean County is also privileged to have District 9 board member Susan Schaefer was selected to the initial cohort National Association of Counties Familiar Faces Leadership Network. And that is another national recognition and a leadership opportunity that Member Schaefer takes very seriously. So thank you, Ms. Schaefer. And today we have the honor to acknowledge District 5 board member and board vice chair Elizabeth Johnston. She was an attendee of the class of 2024, and she's an the Edgar Fellows Program. This leadership opportunity took place at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign on August 4th through the 8th. And so congratulations on that. So I want to congratulate all of our county board members for their national and state contributions. And I believe that is finishing our meeting. So the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much for attending. We will see you in October.